I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
Attention all personnel! Drop your flasks and grab your masks!
Happy Monday evening to y'all. See, didn't even get through the first three words. Stumbling and a fumbling right across the finish line. But, you know, that's how we roll here. Slightly grabastic and disorganized. So, yeah, welcome to Military Mondays. If it's your first time here, sorry. But that's okay. We're going to have a good time and maybe be a little informative. I did realize that I missed a little step in my setup. So in a second here, yeah, it'll be a little glitch that I got to fix, and it's not a big deal. So I do have some amazing content for you this evening. I got a whole bunch of stuff. You know, it's funny because I was sitting there like yesterday. I did an open house over in Safety Harbor, banging property. Love it. Let me know if you want info. But no, I was sitting there. I'm like, man, am I going to have anything to talk about tomorrow? And I pulled it up this afternoon. Like I've worked on a little bit through the day, and I'm like, dear God, I've got a lot going on. So, oh, wait, hey, here's one of the first things I have to do because it's Military Monday, man. We gotta do this right? See, I knew I skipped a step. I actually skipped a couple, but that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Got to have the green microphone because, you know, green. Military Monday. What do you expect? Anyhow. Let's dive into some of the content here. As always, if you got any questions, oh, yep, there we go. You can follow this broadcast over on YouTube at Zach Kid Agent. I'd love it if you would give me a subscribe over there. But yeah, that's my preferred platform, even though we're live streaming on, let's see here, YouTube, Facebook page, Facebook profile. That's my business profile. LinkedIn, Twitch, TikTok, and Rumble. Rumble, you got to get your act together, man. Like it takes me like 10 minutes to set up a Rumble stream. Everybody else is just like, cool, man. So anyhow, yeah. You can chat from wherever you're at, which I don't think that little ticker shows up here, but it will in a second. Wherever you are, you can drop a comment. It'll show up over on my aggregator thingy, Restream, and I can bring it up here on the screen, and we can talk about which comments are or questions or whatever. It is kind of platform dependent though, so if you're asking me a question on YouTube, I'll see it, but people on like watching on TikTok won't. But I can put it up here, and then they'll be able to see it, so it's all good. Should be kind of fun. Anyhow, let's dig in because I got some good stuff. I'm just not exactly sure what I want to do here. But we got to hop over to this screen to make it happen regardless. And I got my little touch portal thing here, and I'm like, you know, I forgot to put those buttons on here. That's okay. I don't need to fix it right this second. I'll get there. Just drives me a little nuts because, like, you know, it comes down to I've got so much that I want to do. And sometimes it's not easy to get through all of that. There's just so much, like it's a large volume of information. Is this? Yes, this is the right one. All right, cool. I do also have a new, a new thing that we're trying here. So here, I'm going to try this. Hands up so you can see it. Like a DJ, put your hands up. Let's go to chat. Ah, it worked. I'm digging it. Chat box off. Hide chat. Ha, there we go. See, I'm starting to remember these things. But now I got to remember what my command is for let's go to the internet. Browser on. Oh, come on. Interwebs. It's got to be interweb. Like, what did I say? I'm going to remember this one of these days. I actually have a list of these shortcuts. I forgot to load that up too. I'm just a mess this evening. Where did that go? Show the internet. I dig it. I love this. I love this thing. It's so cool. And I'm just getting started with this. Like as time goes on, I can do a lot more, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So, yeah. Anyhow, let's pop over to there we go. Some VA stuff. Yes, yeah, because that's what you're here for. Veteran stuff, right? Right. Got this great article here from the VA. Yeah, covered some of this last week, but I did want to refresh your memory that they do have the best of 2024 top vet resources of the year. This just came out like 2 weeks ago now. So January 29th, and veteran discounts available year round, physical fitness resources to ignite a healthier future, everything you need to know about VA urgent care services, veteran travel 101, applying for travel reimbursement. And yeah, there's just tons of stuff on here. And like they link to all sorts of amazing content. So especially this discounts, this thing is nuts. There, like I didn't bother to count, but there's got to be a couple of hundred on there, including O'Reilly Auto Parts, 10% off. Yay! So yeah, if you want this link, I'm going to drop it in the chat. It's not going to show up every place, but we're going to try. And if you need it and it's not on the platform you're watching at, just give me a call, shoot me an email, send me a text, whatever you want to. Whatever platform you're on, send a message. I'll drop that link for you. So moving on. Yeah, here's a big one, which I called this out last week. I still haven't done it myself. Check your veteran health identification card. 1.5 million VHICs, which of course, you know, the military got to have acronyms, man. They have or will expire soon, and that was back in November. So yeah, oh, dear God, I have a VA appointment this week. It's just for the blood draw, and then next week is my annual with the doctor where I can sit there and shake my head and go, really, dude, really. But who knows? Maybe it'll be a good experience. I'm hopeful. Doubtful, but hopeful. Anyhow, but yeah, you can check out your veteran health ID card online, and yeah, QR codes. Don't scan QR code. Like QR codes were cool the first week, and then after that, no, just don't do it. But yeah, check your card. There you go. Your expiration date will be right in the center of the card, and yeah, that's this. Will that come up? Yeah, there we go. Your expiration date's right in the center of the card. Super huge thing, because you don't want them to go, oh, you've expired. We'll take you off our rolls now. What do you mean you're taking me off our? Well, you're dead. So, you know, I mean, that's the VA for you. VA healthcare, man. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. I got the meme ready to go. 2 of them, really good ones. So let's move on here. Deadline extended. VA gives more veterans more time to secure their online benefit. Yeah, they want you in the system. That's all there is to it. I mean, hell, they accepted me. Which yeah, okay. Here we go. Let's man. All right, hold on. I gotta fix this. This is gonna drive me nuts. Copy button. And I need to go to paste button, and it updates. And then I need to go back over here. Just give me a second. Like, I don't know if anybody's watching or not, but whatever. We're here. We're here to have a good time. Copy button. I like that. This is one of the things I love is like, I'm struggling with some of this stuff, obviously, but the thing I love is I can fix it. Like, now that I know how to do some of these things, I can kind of fix them on the fly, and that's what just happened. So where was I? Oh, yes, I'm going to be really bad here for a minute. Let's go back up to me in the full screen. This is terrible. But like, I got out of the military in 2000, March of 2000. And I think it was like April 1st of 2000, which was, or no, it was 2001, whatever it was. That was a long time ago. Anyhow, and like one of the things they said in transition assistance is take your DD-214, go down to your local VA hospital, and, you know, to say, hey, just got out of the military, I need to register with you. And I'm like, cool, man, that's what I'll do. So I trotted my happy little ass over to Bay Pines and went up to the front desk. I'm like, here, I've got my DD-214, just got out of the military. How do I register for VA services? And they're like, what are you doing here? I was like, excuse me? Like, I just got out of the military. I need to register my DD-2. No, you shouldn't be in here. I'm like, what? What's your problem? Like seriously, I'm just here to get to just register with your system. You need to get out of here right now. We're calling security. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, how the hell are all the rest of these veterans here? Like, what's wrong? Like, I'm being polite. And they called security over, and security's like, sir, you need to leave. And I'm like, what the actual shit is going on here? And yeah, they kicked me out. I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I will die in a gutter before I ever go back to the VA. And yeah, so that was in 2000. I did not like. I was dead set against it. And anyhow, it was like 3-4 years ago, something like that. I saw the billboard up on US 19. It's like, just go to va.gov/choose and you can register for your veteran health services. I'm like, well, they can't threaten to arrest me if I'm online. So that's what I did. I went over there and va.gov/choose and all right, register. Man, I'm telling you, it wasn't like it was. I can't remember what time I did it, but it was like the next day. Somebody called me. They're like, "We're so happy you chose our services." And like they were onboarding me. It was like a cult love bombing me, and I was like, what the hell happened in the past 20 years that y'all are nice now? They're like, did you not have a good experience your first time? I'm like, no, I got threatened to be they were going to arrest me as they were kicking me out of the facility. No, I don't want anything to do with y'all. No. And they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry that happened. All right, cool. So since then, I don't know if it's a combination there or if it's just how they are, but they're like, oh yes, please use us. Like, I don't know. You still like, I don't trust you all that much. It's still a little scary. Ugh. But yeah, like that was my experience. So I know mileage varies, but I know there's a lot of people out there who are like, oh, I don't qualify or whatever. Look, there was nothing special about me except for the fact that they tried to arrest me when I went to go get registered. So, and yeah, mind you, it was 2000. The interwebs were still kind of a new thing. Like, Google wasn't even around at that point, I don't think. So, The Matrix was a brand new movie. But yeah, it was like, it was just a horrible onboarding experience or a horrible first try. And then when I tried to get onboarded a few years ago, they're just like, yeah, please come on in. We'll do it. We'll take care of you. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, all right. So now that I've been in the system a little bit, I encourage other people to, at the very least, get registered for it. It's free. It's easy to do online. It takes you almost no time at all. Get your ID cards from them. Worst case scenario, you go once every 2 years is the minimum to maintain an account with them. And you get your blood drawn on week 1, and then you go week 2 and say, I'm fine, doc, leave me alone. And they go, okay. And then you're good. And unless you actually have a problem, in which case they'll try to fix it. They're going to drag ass doing it, but they'll try and fix it eventually. So yeah. Anyhow, definitely go get registered if you're not already. And now that we're back over here, I can put that up. Remember, you can chat from wherever you're watching at. So yeah, deadline extended. VA gives veterans more time to secure their online benefits. Yeah, just go do it. It's not too terrible. They were initially slated to end January 31st, 2025, and it's been moved to March 4th, 2025. So, and then you got to get their preferred login methods, either ID Me or login.gov. Do the ID Me one, that works in more places. But yeah, those will remain active until September 30th. It's just get on board with it. I mean, and then there's other things that are really, really nice. Like, I had a problem a year ago that they still haven't fixed, but that's okay. And I wound up in the ER on New Year's Eve. That was fun, let me tell you. And yeah, VA keeps sending me stuff every once in a while. Your payment on that is $0. Cool. Because I have my veteran ID card or veteran health ID card. I'm on my way in. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, we see you're registered with the VA. We'll let them know. And then the next business day, because, New Year's Day was a holiday. I think it was like the next business day. I didn't even get to pick up the phone to call them. They were like, oh, we saw you were in the ER. Are you okay? I'm like, cool. Do I need to report this to you? They're like, no, we got it in our system. I'm like, okay, cool. And that was it. So, if nothing else on the financial side, that's a win. Totally worth getting over to va.gov. And here, let me see if I can pull that up. va.gov/choose. Wonder if that link still works. That's all. Yeah, it doesn't work anymore. Oh, here we go. How to apply for healthcare. Find out if you're eligible. Blah, blah, blah. It's their form 10EZ, 10-10EZ. But yeah, there you go. And yeah, here's what you'll need: Social Security numbers, insurance card information that cover you for all health insurance companies that cover you. Now I'm up until I got in with this, I'm like I had healthcare coverage through a couple of companies before. I'm like, I'm just gonna raw dog my way through life. Like, you know, the pew is a lot cheaper than trying to pay for doctor's visits. But Medicare, private insurance, or insurance from your employer. DD 214 military. Yeah, this is helpful if you have military service history information and detail about exposures to toxins or hazards. Look, in my time in, they weren't documenting a damn thing. And it just didn't matter. So I don't know if anything ever was documented, and if it was, I'm sure they lost it. I'm but if you got it, great. And then income information, deductible expenses, start your application, what happens after I apply. So yeah, that's all over here. It's a little harder to find than va.gov/choose, but if you do that, you can find that. So let's pop back over to the next one here. There's a few upcoming programs that I think I need to cover. This is a big one because it is Tampa Bay. I mean, Tampa Bay Blitz, man. Exciting news. Application for the mission continues. Operation Tampa Bay Blitz are now open. Join us for a week of impactful service and community building. Check your eligibility today. Applications close March 21st, 2025. It's an online event, which, that's cool. There are 3 roles that make up the mass deployment team. Frequently asked questions, code of conduct, review it, whatever. Oh, here we go. This is where it is. Known for its ability to bounce back stronger. Oh, no, that, I don't even know what this thing is. Let's find out. Blah, 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 blah. Service working in hand to create lasting change in this vibrant community. It was an officer who wrote this shit, because none of this is straightforward. Thank you very much. Inspiring futures, blah, blah, blah. Like, what are we doing? Are we building houses? Are we unaliving manatees? Key responsibilities, ASE criteria, whatever. Look, if you're interested in doing some mystery thing over here in Tampa Bay with Tampa Bay Blitz, there you go. There's a link for you. What the hell's wrong with people? Literally, and mind you, I'm Gen X, so I'm a fast reader, and I don't see anything in here like, this is what we're doing. Just some corporate crap. So, but maybe that's your thing. I don't know. Here, let's read mass deployment, frequently asked questions. What the hell do you do? Application process. Don't care. What are the dates and location? Don't care. Prior experience. They don't care. Any pre-work. 1.5 hours of virtual pre-work for ASE and crew members and 2 hours for ambassadors. Round trip airfare, meals, service projects. How much does it cost? How strenuous? How strenuous? Well, it's going to be a little rough. What's it look like? Breakfast, board buses, depart for service project. So apparently you're doing some sort of service project that they yeah. Damn it, man. Yeah, that's a government operation. All right. Another one for you. SBA Hour with Veterans online event. This is a good one. Invalid date. Well, that's all right. You can get in here and look for this because I'm sure I saved this before. Like, it's a horrible thing. Like, I get the VA newsletter and they're like, yes, you need to register ahead of time for this event. When's the event happening? Today at 2 p.m. Like, it's already 1:30. What am I supposed, like, you just sent me the email. What am I supposed to do with this? So anyhow, it's okay. The date's invalid. They do have these on the regular though. So if you're a veteran who has a veteran-owned business, you can get hooked up with, it's an informal chat with veterans from the SBA, Pittsburgh and Philadelphia district officers. Yeah. See how that's going tomorrow. They'll share how SBA can help veterans and military community kickstart their small businesses and keep their existing ones thriving. They have a bunch of these, and like you don't have to be in Pittsburgh. You can do this one online, or reach out to your local SBA, Small Business Administration. And then locally, we've got the SBDC, which is the Small Business Development Council. And all you got to say is, I'm a vet and I don't know where to start. And they'll go, here, like they'll hook you right in. It's great. So yeah, definitely if you've got a veteran owned business, or you're thinking about starting one, or maybe you've been in business for a couple of years, this can help. So yeah, that's a good one to check into. GI Jobs Get Hired Workshop online. Recruiter secrets revealed. Panel discussion with insider tips on getting noticed and getting hired from today's biggest brands during this free live Zoom event. That's coming up on Thursday, noon to 4 p.m. Eastern. Online event. Register here. Put your best foot forward. Resume insights. Translating your military experience on your resume. Now that's always a fun one, because people are like, "What did you do?" Or you're like, "Yeah, let's see. I'm very mission oriented, and I led my team to a very successful outcome in a very harsh environment with no problems." And they're like, what are you talking about? And you're like, yeah, yes, do it again. Yeah. Like, I unalived some people. So yeah, translating your military experience on your resume is very difficult. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the things that got me when I was getting out. It was really hard for me to find a traditional corporate job, because apparently in the corporate world, the job that I had done in the military, in my second hitch, required a master's degree, and they wanted like 10 years experience for it. I'm like, the hell's wrong with you? Like, I was doing that for this thing, like my bullet point on that would put anybody else to shame. And they're like, yes, but you don't have a master's degree and 10 years experience. I'm like, I did that. I was the guy on the base that was larger in square area than Washington, D.C., with over $2 billion worth of Space Command assets. And your little paper pusher over here, we're getting along just fine, talking turkey. Like, I know what I'm talking about. Oh, no, you don't qualify. Like, actually, somebody called me up. They were mad that I submitted my resume with that, because, you know, I couldn't possibly be as qualified as they are. I was just a grunt. And I'm like, all right, you want to talk turkey? We'll talk turkey. You want to talk trash? We can go out back and talk trash too. I'm like, I just hung up on him. He's an asshole. But yeah, it's a difficult road to hoe when you get out of the military. So take advantage of these things. Tailor your resume for the job you're applying for. I will say, awesome banging tip right now is be careful about this, like double check. But the ability of AI, and mind you, it's this whole spy versus spy thing. You got AI is like, okay, we'll help you write your resume. And you say, okay, go look at what the job posting says and tweak my resume to reflect what the job posting says. And then, like, the recruiters and the HR people are using AI to scan your resume to see if it meets that job posting. So, you know, that's a hell of a lot easier than it was like back in 2000. You were doing that manually, and they didn't really care. They're just like, yeah. So today, I don't think they really care either. But, you know, just if you're going to use AI, for the love of all things holy, check it. Because, yeah, like, I will admit, people, not every, like, I've been on Facebook. I've seen spelling. People suck at spelling. So, you know, for people like me who, I'm not saying I was an English major, but, you know, the spelling and grammar was beaten into me at a young age, and I'm pretty good with it. And, you know, I understand. If English is your second language, totally get it. Tell me English is your second language. I'll be very forgiving. Because look, I don't have a second language. I got two that I'm kind of like, okay, I'd like to learn more about that I'm not putting any time into. And I like, it's embarrassing. I will readily admit I once ordered a prostitute at McDonald's in a different country because I couldn't handle the pronunciation. Shit happens, you know. It was good for a laugh. Like in the moment, I was like, oh my God. And then after that, it was just hysterical. But yeah, like English, if English is your second language, cool, props. Like I'm totally down with that. If it's not, then yeah, spell check, grammar check, and read it over and make sure your stuff looks right. So, but yeah, I'm sure they're going to tell you a bunch of this stuff on here. Hop on it, GI Jobs. You can Google it, or forget Google. Go over to va.gov and search GI Jobs Get Hired Workshop. Yeah, hop onto it. It's free. And if you're looking for a more traditional job, totally worthwhile. And it'll help you with less traditional jobs too. Like if you're looking for like an entrepreneurial minded company, they'll still appreciate this stuff. If you're looking to start your own company, still not going to hurt you to have it. So anyhow, another good one here, pre-need and burial eligibility, you know, in case the VA screws up. Oh, wait, no, I'm not on the right page here. Browser memes and chat. There we go. See, I'm glad I put that button in because otherwise I got to go click it someplace else. Yeah, so there you go. GI Jobs Get Hired Workshop. That's the one you want to go over and search for. So let's pop over here. Pre-need and burial eligibility. Guest speakers. There you go. This one is on Tuesday, February 25th from 2 to 3 Eastern. It's an online event. They have other times coming up. There you go. 25th, 26th, whatever. So yeah, you know, if the VA healthcare fails you, you've got this one.
Shadows cost money. The dead cost nothing.
That's right. Longshanks is on top of it. He knows how that VA healthcare system works. Anyhow, yeah, this is a good one from VA News. Secretary Collins' message to veterans and VA employees. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so this is how we're going to accomplish the task the president has set out for us. We're going to deliver timely access to care and benefits. So this is important because this is the big cheese over at the VA saying this about, you know, Trump's like, hey, get your act together. And he's like, okay, here's how we're going to do this. We're going to deliver timely access to care and benefits for every eligible veteran, family member, caregiver, and survivor. So if you fall into one of those categories and you're struggling, this is now the official mission of the VA. It ain't gonna take a lot to get attention. Matter of fact, you can just come over here, copy paste this into Twitter, X. I'm sorry, X, I dead named you, but you know, a lot of people are still calling it Twitter. X, formerly known as Twitter. There you go. But yeah, you could send a little scathing message out there, and I'm sure it would get picked up just because you're using this terminology. We're going to put veterans at the center of everything the VA does, which they should. That should not be a revelation. Focusing relentlessly on customer service and convenience. Really? Are you really doing that? God, I've got that meme someplace. Not handy though. Not right now. Let's see. Going to challenge the status quo in order to find new and better ways of helping VA beneficiaries. Does that mean you're actually going to listen to us for once? We're going to celebrate the vast majority of VA employees who do a great job every day and hold employees accountable when they fall short of the mission. Man, I wish I got the name of that person who sat in the front desk when I went in there the first time. Veterans with healthcare choices they have earned while maintaining and improving VA's direct healthcare capabilities. Yeah, look, I hate to say this, but the easiest way to do that is just let us use community care. For routine stuff, yeah, sure, cool. When you actually have a problem and the VA is like, yeah, we'll see you in 6 weeks, 2 months, something like that. I have found out that apparently if your next appointment is more than a month out, you can call and demand that they put you over on community care. But I tried that and my doctor just hung up on me. So, you know, nope, we don't do that. Click. I'm like, you mother. So yeah, it's a thing. But yeah, theoretically they're going to do better, and they're going to do a better job reaching veterans at risk of homelessness or suicide, especially those who have had no contact with the VA. Yeah, see, that no contact with the VA, you can't get help from the VA if you're not in the VA system. Or, I mean, you can, but then they got to onboard you and all the rest of the stuff ahead of time. That takes time. And, you know, if you're at risk of homelessness, or you're homeless or unhoused or whatever you want to call it, or, you know, you're not right in the head. We're all not right in the head. I mean, look, who raises their right hand and says, yeah, sure, I'll be cannon fodder. And like, you're not in your right mind. Like, none of us are. So whatever. Yeah, like the risk of homelessness, that's part of the reason that I do this. It's part of the reason I'm in real estate, because I want to use these tools. Not all the time. I work with everybody, but you know, if I can help out other veterans by giving them knowledge and information and a little hand holding to keep them from being homeless, or to improve their situation through real estate tools, that's what I'm here for. It's, you know, everything else is like, yeah, this is fun. And I get to talk, I get to finally be authentic with my tribe. I can talk shit to other veterans, and I love it. Love it. That's why I'm here. So, but yeah, I mean, they want to do a better job reaching veterans at risk of homelessness. Cool. Like, don't worry, I'm going to get in with these resources too, and bring you that info as soon as I can. But you got to be in contact with the VA, which, look, I know there are other people out there who had horrible experiences trying to get in with the VA. I know they've had horrible experiences while dealing with the VA. I'm still struggling with the VA, and I swear to God, if it wasn't for my wife figuring out on Google what would keep me alive, I wouldn't be here today. And this was just a year ago. So they can talk smack, but we'll see how it comes out. So yeah, good stuff here. Reporters and media outlets with questions or comments should contact the Office of Media Relations. Veterans, there you go. Ask VA. That'll hook you right up. So don't forget, you can chat from wherever you're at. I'll see it, and I'll put it up here on the screen right now. Nobody's chatting, so I'm just gonna move on to the next one. Oh yeah, this one pissed me off this week. Sorry, I'm gonna be mad here for a minute. Go back over here. I got the email from the VA, Bay Pines VA. And I tried to email them back through like, this email isn't monitored. Here, you can, go to our stupid bot. And I'm like, no, that's bullshit. Mind you, I do not fall into this category, but these are my brothers and sisters. I'll go to bat for you. I don't care. Mad comes quick, as my grandmother used to say. VA sent out a thing. Look, the only thing that's allowed in our facility is service dogs. Like, hold up. Yeah, I know Florida and the ADA laws. Service dogs are not the only service animal legally required to be respected in the state of Florida. Now, mind you, the VA goes by federal law, which of course says service dogs. Dogs are the only service animal according to the federal government on a federal level. And yeah, the VA is federal building. Like, I get that. But you're in the state, and the state says there are service dogs and miniature ponies. Those are the two categories in the state of Florida, which, mind you, if you need a service animal and you live in a condo, I would love for it to be a service pony, because damn, that would be the funniest shit ever with a Karen. And yeah, you can do that. But the problem is, legally, you're in a state that legally respects service animal, a miniature horse pony, whatever it is. Wait, where is it? Let me bring it up over here. Florida statute, service animal, blah, blah, blah. It's not a pet, is limited to a dog or a miniature horse. And I know that is about impossible to see on that screen. There you go. That is straight out of Florida statute. Limited to a dog or a miniature horse. So that's Florida law. Now, if you've got a miniature horse as a service animal registered with the state of Florida that you actually need, how the hell are you supposed to get onto a government, like any VA hospital? Because they only allow service dogs. So they need to update their shit. They should be respecting whatever state law that they are. If you're in the state, that's what you got to go by, state law. Because it's not like you could take your miniature horse up to Georgia and the VA up there would be fine, because they're all going underneath federal law. And I actually ran down the rabbit hole on this a little bit. See that rabbit hole? Service animal laws by state. And mind you, I only cross-checked some of these, but it's still that they checked out. So I'm not going to go too crazy saying, no, it isn't this. There we go. And this is ADA. by state. All but 6 states have service animal interference laws. Okay, cool. Blah, blah, blah. Some states recognize animals other than dogs as service animals. For example, Alaska, Maryland, and Montana and Oregon permit other animals, just quote unquote, to be recognized as service animals. And cats and birds have been so designated. So now we got miniature horse, dog, cat, bird as possibilities by state laws. Arizona, Florida, Illinois, Iowa, Michigan, Mississippi, Nevada, Ohio, Washington, and Wyoming specifically allow miniature horses to be service animals with the same right of access as service dogs. And if you want to follow a really cool account with a miniature horse, Flirty, the miniature horse over on Facebook, great little account. That horse is so cute. But you know, she's a service horse. She has a job to do. So about half these states waive fees and licenses for service animals, must prove their training and status to be eligible for it. Yeah, just like a dog. And here's the important point. All of these are completely different from emotional support animals. We're talking service animals. Like if you're a diabetic and your bird is the one that alerts to say your blood sugar is low, that's a valid medical need. And yet the VA is like, not a dog. That ain't right. That ain't right. So like, feel free, go over, hammer on the VA and say, what the hell you mean only dogs are service animals? Aggravate the hell out of me. So yeah, may have to hit up the secretary on that one too. ADA requirements for service animals. This is Title II, state and local governments, blah, blah, blah. Beginning March 15, 2011, only dogs are recognized as service animals under Titles 2 and 3 of the ADA. So yeah, that's it. That's federal ADA, Department of Justice, Civil Rights Division. You know, at the end of the day, they need to respect local law too. That's all I'm saying, because the locals will not have another choice. I mean, can you imagine like you're in you're in Florida but you get called to a federal court case over in Tampa. They want you to be a juror and you're like service pony or service miniature horse, and you got all the paperwork and everything. They're like, horse can't come in. Okay, but I need this horse. It's a medical need. Tough. Okay, well then how am I going to tell you that I can't come in? Like, how am I going to get in front of the judge and say, y'all won't let my miniature horse in here and I can't serve otherwise? Like people could be up a creek without a paddle real quickly because of this. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed. That's all there is to it. Okay, on to happier things here. The writers chapter. This is from the American Legion. Now that I'm done beating up the VA, although they entirely 100% deserve it. Ugh, some days. But anyhow, this is from the American Legion. Really great organization. Hold up. I've hit this button enough and it's ticking me off that it's, yeah, no, we're going to delete that function. Delete. Yes. Save and close, apply, save and close, refresh. Now I should be able to do this without it kicking me out. Did it work? It did work. Yeah. American Legion has the Be the One campaign. Come on, focus. Oh man, that eye focus is like, it wants to be on my face. There we go. Be the One. Get the challenge coin from the American Legion. Please, if you're not already a member, go over there, sign up. They do good stuff and it's really inexpensive for the year. You can also get your veteran service organization. You're like, if you want to file, I'm going to say it, my wife's going to be mad at me for watching this later because I still haven't done it. But yeah, you can get a VSO, veteran service organization. You can get a rep from there through the American Legion, free of charge, to help you file your disability. And that apparently streamlines the process quite a bit, and it's entirely worthwhile. I'll let you know if I have any luck. Again, I almost got arrested just trying to get into the VA system, so I don't have a lot of faith in this crap. But, you know, hey, other people are like, I had no problem. I don't know what your problem is. I'm like, I had problems. That was a problem. So anyhow, but the American Legion, they do great stuff all the way around. They're in this one, they're braving frigid weather to raise awareness about veteran homelessness, suicide, and PTSD. This is from the Be the One campaign. Yeah, like, look, I'm a Florida boy. I ain't going out in the snow. like there's got to be a really good reason for me to go out into something like that. But yeah, they're up in Minnesota and spent 44 hours in a tent, annual freezing for good reason event. Hey, more power to y'all. And I think it was George Carlin said that there's no such thing as, or maybe it was Billy Connolly, one of them, said there's no such thing as bad weather, only inadequate clothing. Yeah, nope. Still ain't going out in that. Yeah, they go out, let's see, January 31st to February 2nd, less than 2 miles from Fargo. Ow. Yeah, they spent 44 hours inside of a tent outside of the post. Yeah, they do this as a fundraiser for local charities and is geared towards raising awareness about veterans who are battling PTSD. Actually, yeah, there we go. Turn that one off. Living on the streets, taking their own lives. Yeah, so it's good. Where it raises awareness, hopefully get some income going to those organizations, which is awesome. Holy crow. In past years, the wind chill have dropped to negative 40 degrees. Nope. You may as well tell me that I'm going to give birth to a unicorn. Ain't happening. The heating unit is inside the tent, but it only brings the temperature up around 30 degrees. That's still 10 below. Nope. That ain't happening. But hey, good for that crew for being up there doing that. It does raise awareness. I mean, hell, you're getting it down here in Florida. So yeah, virtual high five to you guys. Good on you, and hopefully that does some good up there. Yeah, again, American Legion, they do good stuff. Again, 5 things to know. February 10th. That was today. That's today. Got this one today. I love it. Look at the hell. Yeah. I don't have a helicopter-y one. I need a helicopter-y one. Oh, here. Have an A-10 fly over. Ooh, that high-pitched whine at the end. Oh, I love that one. Anyhow, 5 things to know on February 10th. In this case, like they're still keeping up on like military info, which to me is good. I'm not gonna I try not to get political on stuff because most of the time I'm just like, yeah. But anyhow, these things are important, especially if you still have friends or family members who are in the service. This can directly affect them. So North Korea denounces U.S. South Korean military exercise. Trump repeats pledge to take control of Gaza. A Marine killed in Philippines crash identified. So yeah, they've got the good news stories. They got what's going on, where, how, and why. Oh man, there we go. Petition calling for the National Medal of Honor Museum to include a dedicated exhibit for Air Force Master Sergeant John Chapman has revived longstanding criticism that the Navy SEAL community sought to diminish his contributions. Look, interagency rivalry aside, I'm not real well versed on this one, but from everything I've seen, you should be in there. Or you got to have a good reason to keep them out. More than 24,000 people have signed the change.org petition requesting that the museum add Chapman's story to approximately 200 focused presentations when it opens up. Chapman was a combat controller killed in action on March 4th, 2002 during the Battle of Tukurgar in Afghanistan. He was the first airman to receive the Medal of Honor since the Vietnam War and only the 19th in the service's history. Yeah. I think, for one in the Air Force since Vietnam, put him in there. Here and displaced. So, bunch of other stuff going on. American Legion will help keep up on it. Obviously, I'm not gonna say they're like completely pro-military, but they are pro-military member. Which is good. I mean, that's what you want out of your veteran organizations. You want them to back the troops. And you know, a lot of that's just kind of staying abreast of what's going on in the world. It's a good thing. So yeah, going back to the veteran homelessness thing and buying homes and that kind of stuff, which is really what I'm here for. We're going to talk right now, Market Watch. Lower mortgage rates draw homeowners in, but keep home buyers out. Ooh, yeah. Traditionally, the busiest time of year for buying and selling real estate could be a bust, the early data suggests. This was updated 5 days ago. So yeah, mortgage rates are inched down to their lowest level in 6 weeks, but the drop wasn't enough to lure home buyers back in the game. Look, election, new president stuff, that always chills the market a little bit. Even at that, like we're off to a slow start. That's all there is to it. It was cooling down last year quite a bit. Like they romped the brakes, and it slowed down significantly. But yeah, the interest rates have trickled down a little, but it's not significant enough to spur a lot of people into moving. And you know, it's been a very active weather year. Like Florida last year, we had our 3 hurricanes. Then we had the fires out there in California, big snowstorms. Like we had snow in Florida, and I learned something. Florida actually does have snowplows. Shocker! Like we were better prepared for that. Florida has snowplows. California, even though they're on the coast, they couldn't find any water to throw on fires. I'm just saying. Florida wins in that one. But no, like you know, there's been a lot of pressure on the market just because of the natural disasters. I'm not even going to get into talking damage from Hurricane Helene and, you know, North Georgia, the Carolinas, that kind of stuff. That's still a mess, but it's getting better pretty quickly. But you know, the market hasn't had, like, it's been hammered this past year. The interest rates were higher. People were understandably, I'm just going to say, cautious, and kind of like, you know, I don't need to move, so why am I going to move? Or, you know, I no longer have a house, where am I going to go? That's kind of where your two things wound up being. So yeah, I mean, the interest rates, they've just barely, like, I don't even want to say inch, they've little bit down. It's not enough. Like, these are going to have to drop tremendously to kind of bring the activity back up in the market. And a lot of that is going to be counterbalanced by insurance rates. Like, taxes still suck. They're not getting any better, but the insurance rates are just, like, they're crazy right now. And it's not going to get any better. We know that. Mortgage rates are not expected to fall significantly over the next few months. Okay. And with little room for mortgage rates to fall from current levels, we expect another weak spring buying season. It's true. Like, you know, there's not a lot of factors going towards, hey, it's still going to be a good buying season right now. And something that I covered, I think it was this past Thursday, that the Canadian dollar has dropped off significantly in its value compared to the US dollar. And basically, $2 takes 3 Canadian dollars to buy. So we had a lot of the Canadian snowbirds that owned condos down here. And yeah, if your condo assessments say $500 a month, and it now costs you 750 Canadian to pay that $500 a month assessment, they're not getting paid an extra 250 up there. So like they're in bad shape down here, which means they're trying to sell off their condo units and single family homes, and the buyers aren't there. So, you know, this is like, if you're selling, it's good. You're not in for a good time right now if you're selling a house. The only thing we can do is keep doing what we do and putting your best foot forward and doing the right things. Sometimes that, like, if you're really anxious, maybe pricing it a little lower than you think. But you know, still, like, it's tough out there as a seller. If, on the other hand, you are in a position to consider buying, the money isn't that big of a detriment to you, then you can find some deals out there. I'm not going to lie. Like, you can play let's make a deal with some of these sellers. I'm not saying that's always the case. I mean, I've seen two examples this week. On the one side, the seller was like, "Yeah, like bring me an offer, like as long as it isn't insulting and I can get out, I'm happy." And on the other hand, I saw one that was priced lower than what I thought it should be, and it ticks all the boxes for our buyers. So, we're going out looking at that now too, and it's like, that's just kind of how the market is. Mortgage rates fall across the board. Uptick in mortgages stems from an increase in refinancing activity. Yeah, part of that refinancing activity is because foreclosure rates are up or are trickling up. That's a problem. So, it's better to refinance if you can. But I'm telling you right now, my wife learned day one. I told her any of that crap that comes in the mail about, hey, we can save you a little bit or you can refinance. I said, give that to me. It's going in the burn pile. She's like, but I'm like, no. I said, we have a great interest rate. A lot of times people are like, oh, golden handcuffs. I'm like, why? We like our house. We don't want to move. We don't want to leave. Why would I want to pay more just because I got to cash out my equity and now my payment has gone up $1,000 or something? That's not good. So, but yeah, I mean, like don't refinance unless you have a very compelling reason to do so. There are other strategies out there. I can hook you up with people to talk about that. Mortgage rates fall across the board. Yeah, so we're going to talk mortgage rates here for just a second. But yeah, they're still in the sixes and sometimes even the sevens, depending on what it is. Whatever you do though, unless you have a known strategy, you know what you're doing, try very hard to avoid looking at adjustable rate mortgages. There's a time for that. I don't think now is the time for that, be perfectly honest. But yeah, record high home prices and 7% mortgage rates have hammered the housing market, with many buyers pushed out by unaffordable home prices. That's all you need to know right there. That's everything. And yeah, 7% mortgage rates, which historically is about where it should be. I mean, that's not crazy. That's honestly kind of reasonable. But those home prices kept trickling a little higher and a little higher. And even now, even though the market has slowed down, home prices continue to increase slightly because there's still demand. That demand in our area has come from coastal houses because, damage, insurance, FEMA, there's a whole bunch of reasons people don't want to live out on the coast, which means if your house is not on the coast, then yeah, you can charge a little bit of a premium because that offsets an insurance. So there's slightly less supply. I mean, supplies are still going up, but there's more demand to not be on the coast, and that's a first around here as far as I know. But yeah, that 7% mortgage rates, and it's the same thing with California where those fires were. It's the same thing with the Carolinas, the Appalachian country up there. They got the same problem that if you're not in the area that got damaged, you're going to have pressure from the people whose homes were damaged because they need a place to live too. Just natural. You're going to go as close to it as you can get and still not have to worry about that damage. So those markets are kind of weird right now. Navigating that's kind of weird. So let's talk actual mortgage rates here. This is a 30-year, and this is today. So yeah, 30-year fixed current 7%, 7.01%, which is down 0.02%, and down almost 0.25% over a month. So it's still 0.03 above what it was a year ago, and low and high 6.11, high of 7.52. Yeah, mostly in between. So yeah, if you're getting a conventional, that's about what you're looking to pay. 15-year fixed, okay, that's a little bit better, 6.41. And yeah, again, same kind of thing, like the highs and lows, but it's it's not bad if you can handle a 15-year fixed. I mean, obviously you're it's gonna cost you more on the front end, but the interest rate's a little better, and you get it paid off in half the time. So 30-year FHA 6.38. This one's actually pretty darn good on this list. I mean, that we're not talking 2020 numbers, but on this list, this is the winner. Again, it's trickled down that 0.01%. And in 1 week, it's down 0.07. So, and in 1 month, there we go, 0.17. So like that's doing pretty good. 30-year jumbo, yeah, that's going to be higher at 7.3. It's still doing a little better, but not like percentage wise. It, yeah, makes no difference. Those jumbo loans are when you're up over whatever the threshold is, which was like 5, 6, whatever. I don't know. It's like, you know, I'm gonna use round numbers. I think it's like 623 right now, whatever. But yeah, if your mortgage is above that, then yeah, you're in jumbo territory and you're going to pay more. You know, if you're buying a $5 million property and you're mortgaging it, you can handle 7.3% interest rate. 7.6 ARM, yeah, 6.78. That's not a huge savings compared to, like, yeah, that's not great. 0.03%. But yeah, here's the one that I always look at and love, is 30-year VA. Because everybody's like, oh, VA. I'm like, no, man, the VA loan is badass. On this list, the only one that is lower is a 30-year FHA, and it's only lower by 0.02%. And we're still 0.01% under a 15-year fixed. Like, the VA loan is just, it's banging. And in 1 month, it's down 0.06%. Again, FHA is the only one that beats it on that. And yeah, I mean, like that's good. Mind you, it's 0.11% above what it was, you know, over a year. FHA is up 0.12. So, but yeah, I mean, it's tracking with like a 15-year fixed and a 30-year FHA. So that VA loan, like if you qualify as a veteran, use your VA loan. First time around, first taste is free. First taste is free. If you want to use it a second time, then you're gonna have to pay the fee for it, which even at that, like that can be rolled into the loan amount most of the time, blah, 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 blah. Wait, here we go. I got to do this one. I'm not an attorney. There you go. I'm also not a lender, but yeah, it's a thing. Just understand it is super powerful. It's doing really good for you. And yeah, rates are screwy. Yeah, look at that. There's the chart over the, can we go back just 5? I mean, look, 1981, 30-year fixed rate was 18.29%. You tell people that and they're like, no, it's not that bad. Look, here's the highest we've been. Where's that? Get me right there. October 2023, we're at 7.92 for a 30-year jumbo. FHA was at 7.25. So yeah, ouch. Yeah, that one hurt. But let's go back. Yeah, to go back higher than that, it was in 2000. And oh wait, yeah, there you go. December of 98 was the lull before that, and that's about on par with where we're at right now. So, and then everything before that was higher. So in US history, like 2000 was the last time we were up around this level, and then everything below that was just a roller coaster ride down. Look, I'm not grabbing the crystal ball. Okay, I am grabbing the crystal ball. There you go. Here's crystal ball. Crystal ball says, I got no idea what's about to happen. But I can tell you this much, it ramped up quite a bit. I don't think it's going to sustain up there. It might. I don't know. It might. But even at that, you know, look, 5 years ago, you're like, there you go. No, we'll even go. Yeah, 2019, you're like, oh, how much lower can the rates go? I don't want to get chipped. Nobody gives a shit. Like, really. Because, you know, if the rates go up, you're even if they go down a little, but in 5 years they go up, you're still out of the gate. I guarantee especially here from like '02 to '08. I mean, '08 was, yeah, that was ugly. But even here, like, even at that 8% back then, do you know what those home prices did just in this time? Yeah, about that much time. Those home prices like went up tremendously, 50%, whatever. And when you look at the new mortgage, oh, it's at a lower rate. Yeah, but the price is 50% higher. You know what? If you bought back here, you'd still feel like a genius because your 7.81% mortgage on a $70,000 property beats the hell out of your 6.59% payment or interest rate on a $150,000 property, even at 130. Yeah, the math works in your favor over a long enough time span. So just keep it in the back of your mind. These changes happen, but most everybody. Oh, hey, look, I got my first comment from Twitch. Cheap viewers on. Yeah, okay, go away. Where's the band hammer? But no, like when you're looking at over time, like you're not going to go like, okay, we had the market correction in 2008. The great financial whatever. I just watched The Big Short 2 weeks ago. Absolutely love that movie. Like, kind of the finance geeky side of me, but I still love it. Anyhow, but no, I've done the math on it, and if you bought at like the highest of the high just before the crash, blah blah blah, if you could hold on for 6 years, your property recouped its value. That's all there is to it. Like if you're planning on being someplace for 7 years, you're probably going to be okay. And I guarantee, like we've been in our house for, God, 4 years now, 5 years now. I can't remember. I'm a little fuzzy on dates anyway, but we've been here for a few years now. And let me tell you, our mortgage payment, it's gone up a little. It hasn't gone up like people's rent has. And like, if we went out looking right now to find a place for the payment that we're paying right now, doesn't exist. Just doesn't exist. Like I could go over to Lowe's and get a shed, like that would be about like, it's crazy. So, but yeah, like these are things you got to kind of keep in the back of your mind. This chart here, this was emailed over to me today by Tyler Walsh. This information was provided by Tyler Walsh at CMG Home Loans. You can reach him at 860-841-8489. Yep, and here's his webpage over on cmghomeloans.com. Great dude. He's primarily over in Tampa, but yeah, I mean, I hate these stupid little bug things. Again, another idea that was great the first week, and then after that, it's like, I hate these things. Why are you popping up and dinking at me and making a sound and blinking the entire? I just want to scroll and see the guy's phone number. Anyhow. But yeah, good dude, continually updates me at like once a week or so. I get something good from Tyler and I'm like, nah, he needs a shout out this time. I love it. And yeah, the other one that I want to cover. Oh yeah, I got to do it this way. We need to turn browser off. And is that there? Man, why did that come back? Browser off. There we go. Okay. I'm your military-friendly real estate agent. Yeah. We covered the mortgage rates. Yeah, 30-year VA down to 6.41%, which is awesome. This next bit, this is a money tip. And I love this. So, first one we did, Tyler. This one is from somebody else. What's the impact of a 0.25% difference in rate? And this is a very important concept that I'd like to have this conversation with people about, because it sounds like, ooh, 0.25% of rate. All right, yes and no. Let's take a look here. For every $100,000 in loan amount, a 0.25% rate change in rate is only a $16.61 change in payment. That ain't even $20. Now I'll do some sketchy shit for $20. But a 0.25% rate change in rate, that on 100 grand, that ain't that much. Now, mind you, most of the homes, even the I'm going to call them affordable homes in this area, even the condos, you're looking 3 to 4 times that. But you know, still, like even oh, calculator. Come on. Oh man. Oh hey, there it is. Voice tech doing its shiz bang here. $16.61 times 3. That's $49.83. $50, like $50 a month. That's respectable. Still though, not a huge deal. And even at like a 400K house, you're looking at $66.44. 1. You know, a $500,000 house, you're looking about $83. I don't know, like $83. Look, next year when you get like the taxes are going to be different. Insurance, like that. Yes, that could, like, you got to have enough buffer there to absorb that. I like to see the sweet spots at about 3 to 5 years where you start going, we couldn't rent this. Like if we went to an apartment or something like that, we couldn't get off this easily right now. You know, and I was just talking to somebody like, and like, she's good, but her mortgage right now is $3,100 a month. And I'm like, oh, damn. Yeah. And like, she's not in a mansion. So, yeah. So, you know, overall, like on a $500,000 place, $83 a month for a 1/4% change. Are you really saying, like, is that big of a deal? And same thing goes with refinancing. If you're considering refinancing, $83 a month, it's not worth refinancing because they're going to hit you with, you know, 5-10 grand in charges and roll that on top. And, you know, like your $300,000 mortgage is now going to be, you know, $375 or something. And you're like, yeah, but I saved a 1/4% interest rate. You ain't saving nothing. You're probably spending a little bit more. So just food for thought. Understand that it is a good tool to know about. It's an important thing to know about, but rate is not the only thing to be concerned with. Everybody wants to know what their payment's going to be, and this is a really awesome rule of thumb. It really, when it's easy to do the math on it. I mean, I still use the calculator because I'm not the mathy kid. But that's why I have a calculator. I don't care what my school teacher said back in middle school. I do have a calculator in my pocket all the time. I just said it again, so it's probably going to pop it up here. But yeah, that's not $16. Even round it off, call it $20. 20 times 5, $100. That, like, on a $500,000 loan, is that worth stressing over? $100? I don't know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Again, you need to be able to absorb whatever's going to come down the pike for you over the next 3 to 5 years. Taxes and insurance, those are the things that are going to bite you when you're not looking. And then after that, you can breathe a little easier because you ain't going to get someplace else for what you got into it, unless the market completely shits the bed, in which case, go buy more property. So yeah, let's go over here. There we go. Turn that one off. This information was provided by Tyler Walsh at CMG Home Loans. You can reach him at 860-841-8489. That was the same one, but that was the wrong link. That should be... Let me fix this. Oh man, it's supposed to be there and it isn't. Okay, sorry. Nope. Okay, it's supposed to be there and it isn't. It was Brian Heckman over at Heckman Mortgage. I'm sorry, Brian, if you ever watch this. I'm sorry. I had it queued up, and apparently it's not queued up. So, but that's okay. That's what I get for come skidding in sideways on these things. Anyhow, let's turn that. Boom, there we go. So that takes us back over to Market Watch, and yeah. There's Tyler. Okay, and yeah, so last but absolutely not least, I covered this on Fraud Friday. This again comes from VA News, protecting your benefits data from fraudsters. If you like the fraud and scam information, I got a banging episode coming up on Friday because that's Valentine's Day. Yeah, give you 3 guesses what scam I'm running on that one. Anyhow, yeah, for VA during Privacy Week, which is this past, well, a week and a half ago, they're sharing guidance, understanding identity theft. Look, again, pisser for those of us who are in the military. Any veteran will tell you. They slathered our social security number on everything and then told us, oh, you got to be careful about your social security number. Okay, but you literally wouldn't let me do anything on base without my social security number. And I had to plaster it on everything. Oh, but you got to protect it. But make sure you give it to me. Like, yeah. So yeah, it's a problem, especially for vets. But you know, same thing goes with all the rest of your stuff. But yeah, I had a good thing on this past Fraud Friday, talking about generative artificial intelligence scams. Fraudsters using AI to create fake identities or impersonate real people. Oh, I saw that one this week too. Oh, that one hurt. That one was over on X. Elon Musk found out that the Social Security Administration, the Social Security numbers are not non-duplicated. In other words, there can be multiple of the same Social Security number issued out to multiple people. That's no bueno. So yeah, they could very easily impersonate real people, businesses, or charities, secure information, file claims for benefits. Now look, some people are more pissed off about stolen valor than others. Unless you're being an absolute shitbag about it, I don't care if somebody's out there wearing an old BDU jacket or, you know, pants or whatever. I don't care. Now, when you start going around, you know, talking shit, you know, no. Like, but even at that, I'm like, okay, well, you apparently just need attention. Cool. I'm not going to give it to you, but cool. Some people get really upset about that. Personally, I have not heard of somebody doing the stolen valor play, even with generative AI or any of this other stuff, trying to give VA benefits. I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I'm just saying I haven't heard of it. If you've heard of it, well, let me know, because I'd be interested. QR code scams, yeah. Don't, like, look, unless it's a known, trusted source, don't scan QR codes. Just don't do it. Even restaurant menus, don't do it. It's real easy to print off a fake QR code, stick it on top there, and people are scanning it and, you know, getting rickrolled. Which, again, I need to put over here. Yeah, I don't have the rickroll handy. I thought I did, but I don't. Don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah. Anyhow, QR code scams, don't scan QR codes wherever you go. Just don't do it. Phishing, also known as clickbait scams, comes in many forms. Fake websites and advertisements. I got a big one on this coming up on Fraud Friday. Another good one for you. But clicking on links can lead veterans to phishing sites designed to steal personal information, infect devices with malware, or request payment for non-existent services. Yeah, like you could, I am not saying that I have seen this, but it is entirely possible to think somebody's going to come up with a phishing scam that drives you to a va.org, not .gov, .org or something like that kind of website, and make you sign in and do all that stuff. And, you know, because you owe the VA $15.17. And then next thing you know, you got hit for $30,000 in charges that you didn't know about because it was all fake. Be very, very careful about where you're going and what you're doing. If in doubt, just don't do it. Like the worst that's going to happen is the next time you call them, they're going to be like, you know, you owe us $15, right? You can go, you know, oh, plus interest. So it's $20. You can go, cool. $20 is $20. What kind of sketchy shit do I have to do to get that? And yeah, just pay them. But like, don't trust anything you see online. Don't trust a blind text message. And look, like I said, I got my blood draw coming up this week for my vet appointment, for my doctor's appointment next week. I have gotten 15 fucking reminders about that. Here it is in the mail. I got 2 on the phone yesterday and 1 on my email. Just like, yeah, they will hammer you for these things, for your appointment reminders. Just Okay, fine, whatever. Like, yeah, I know I've got an appointment. Just quit bugging me. I wish they would back off on that, because it does open up vets to, oh, hey, you got another one as an appointment reminder. Hey, you need to pay us $15 ahead of time. Poof, off you go. It's a good thing I'm not a scammer. Romance and friendship scams. Guess what I'm going to be talking about on Friday? Valentine's Day. You know what else I'm going to be talking about? Yeah, if you got a Valentine, you want to get them a little something there. Here's the only socially acceptable way to give them crabs. While I mentioned this on Military Monday, I want to give a proper shout out to my friend Megan and her business, Megotaku. She prints various marine life and the fine art of traditional Japanese methods known as gyutaku, taking the fish, applying traditional Japanese ink, and pressing traditional rice paper onto it, producing unique prints in a very limited production run. Her prints are featured in many prominent Bay Area locations, and this month she has printed crabs. Check out her works and support her business by purchasing something that inspires you. Or, if you have caught your own fish, you can contact her for pricing. These prints are available via her website at megotaku.com. Thank you, Megan, for allowing me to promote your business. Yeah, Megan came out to the open house yesterday. She's just an awesome person. She's one of those people. The second you meet her, you're just like, you're now my friend. I gotta have you in my world. She's just one of those people. I just adore her. But yeah, and I think that is the coolest business ever. And it doesn't help that I'm a water baby beach bum. I remember seeing that, like on Discovery or History Channel 30, 40 years ago. And I'm like, that's cool. And never thought anything else about it. Cause like, where are you going to learn that from? Megan will tell you where you learned that from. She learned how to do it. So it's cool. I love, like, we'll go out to restaurants. Well, I haven't been able to do that in over a year. But when we do, we go out to places like Hog Island Fish Camp, and I'm like, that prints Megan's. See Megotaku on there. I dig it. I love it. So yeah, if you want to give your Valentine crabs, that's the way to do it. But otherwise, watch out for romance and friendship scams. Oh, you're my friend. Yeah. What do you want? How much? Oh, you want to move this over to WhatsApp and just have me send you over some gift cards and some shit? No. But I'm going to blow that one up over on Friday. So yeah, just be aware of that. The stripper doesn't really love you. She doesn't. She just wants your money. That's the same thing with the romance and the friendship scams. Stripper don't love you. Doesn't happen. Anyhow, yeah, be careful of all this stuff. Just, treat it like you're going to a cat house on nickel night, and act accordingly. Don't scan QR codes. Every once in a while there's a valid reason to have a QR code, but in general, just as a general rule, don't trust them. If you see one on the side of a building someplace, it's probably going to be a problem. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, just be careful where you're getting it from. And if you got any questions, you got a problem, especially like veteran related, VA. Oh, VA sent me this thing. Call your veteran privacy officer. I didn't know those were a thing. But yeah, VA privacy violation or general privacy questions and concerns. They have a privacy website. You know what? I may have to go find a local privacy officer and invite them to be a guest on the podcast if I can ever get my audio working correctly. So, but be proactive and yeah, just don't trust QR codes. Okay, let's see. What's this? I've been on here for a little hour and 20 minutes. I'm banging. This is good. I didn't think I was going to have any content. I thought that'd be like on and done in 20 minutes. So, yeah, tonight worked out pretty good. Let's turn that off. I only had one comment in chat and I had to block him because, I don't need to buy followers. I don't have any followers, but I don't need to buy any. But yeah, anyhow, I've enjoyed this session tonight. If you've enjoyed it, do me a favor. Click the little buttons, whatever it is, like, follow, share, subscribe, like wherever you're watching. Yeah, hook a brother up. Do me a solid. Algorithms like that. I like that. It's good for my ego. My ego is just crushed all the time. But yeah. dig the info, come on back. Military Mondays, every Monday, 6 p.m. And this Thursday, I don't think I'm going to have a guest. I got to get that audio thing fixed first. But I do have tomorrow. If I can get it working tomorrow, maybe I can line somebody up, because I do enjoy doing that. I'd love to have a guest, and I got plenty of good topics to cover with guests, so that's a big push for me. But I enjoy it, so that's what the goal is. And then again, Fraud Friday, where I'm going to hammer on the romance scam thing. I got plenty of other good stuff too, but the romance scam, oh God, it's terrible. It's terrible. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you for joining me this evening. Again, like, share, subscribe, blah, 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 all the good stuff. And I'm out. Y'all have a great rest of your week. See you on Thursday. Thanks for joining me this evening. I hope you found it entertaining, maybe even informative. If you have questions, please email them to podcast@zackkid.com, and I'll include the response in the next live stream. Until then, I'm Zach Kidd, Realtor, Clearwater, Florida, signing off.